person who is the incoming host of the TED interview. And so I think what's going to happen to this show is it is about to get more interesting, because he's an intellectual soulmate who's actually done years and years of historical research into thousands of different amazing things in a way that I have never had time to do. Steve Johnson has written more than a dozen books. Even more importantly than that, he's given 5 incredible TED Talks. And there's a unifying spirit to his work, which is viewing the world through the lens of ideas, through the lens that actually, really, truly, it's ideas that shape history more than anything else. And the way that he does that, the way that he draws together events, inventions, sparks from different areas and shows how they connect. I mean, it's mind-boggling and thrilling. So during the next hour or so, we're going to be talking with each other. I'm asking lots of questions of him. Rumor has it he's threatening to ask questions of me as well. Look out for that. You can switch off at that point, obviously. So, Steve, welcome to the TED interview.
Chris, I'm so honored to be here and so excited about this new adventure. Huge shoes to fill. This has been an amazing podcast these last few seasons, but I think we're going to be on a fun ride going forward.
Steve, why don't you start by giving us a sense of just your background, who you are. Where did this weird and wonderful multidisciplinary mind come from?
Yeah, I mean, my actual kind of training in terms of my academic background was really in history and kind of media theory and science, and then I went to grad school studying the relationship between literature and technology, particularly industrialization. At some point in the 90s, I went on the dual track where I was writing about the impact of technology, but I also was starting a couple of companies. I started reading a lot of science. And I just kind of looked at my bookshelf one day and said, hey, I seem to be, spending 90% of my time thinking about these new scientific ideas coming into the world. And so I slowly started integrating that into what I actually wrote about in public. But I think that the common thread that runs through all these different topics, I mean, the books technically have been, I wrote about video games, I wrote about neuroscience, I wrote about